and today we will cover a hot topic in Brazil, sports betting and the different opportunities the country offers. I'm delighted to introduce Aurélien Lohrer, Head of Marketing at BetCris, the leading gambling operator in Latin America, which has been targeting Brazil as one of its primary expansion locations. So welcome, Aurélien. Nice to have you here today for our webinar.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for welcoming me.
So now, Aurélien will introduce in few slides BetCris on their strategy in Latin America. Aurélien, it's for you.
Thank you. Okay, a few words about our company. So BetCris is a headquartered company from Costa Rica. We are mostly working with licensed countries, mostly in LATAM. We operate today in 12 countries, including Brazil, starting a few months ago. We have a mix of online and retail strategy. We have 250 locations across LATAM and also few of them in the Philippines, thanks to a partnership with a casino there. And we have also point of payments because the difficulty in LATAM is to collect the money and to pay the customers. So the company, I had no visibility on the slide. I don't know where we are. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm slide 1 or 2, but the company started in 2006 when the current CEO, JD Duarte, took over the company and operates in Mexico, opening the business in Panama and Venezuela back then. And then the evolution year after year across the different countries in LATAM, including Ecuador, Peru, Guatemala, and then Honduras. When we put Malta, it's because the company owned betting license from Malta. We opened after that over the years, the Dominican Republic. We had some partnership with the local racetrack and local lottery, because that's the way we get the license to operate when there's no official regulation in the country, which is the case in the DR or Ecuador. Then we open up all the countries, Filipina, which is Asia though, but still, Salvador, Nicaragua, and then we are looking now at Argentina, moving other licenses for the province and the city. We are also strengthening our licenses in Mexico. Panama is moving under a new license as well. We applied and we are moving again in Panama. And then we are expecting Chile, which is still not, official, but I mean, this country will anytime soon regulate because they have to follow the trend. And then we started, after having all those countries, to invest in marketing because the product is there, we have the countries, but we don't have the brand awareness yet. So we started, I would say, a decent marketing investment, starting with the national team in Mexico last year, because the competition in Mexico is extremely hard, I would say, but also the fact that we have a leader that took over 16 teams, I think, out of the championship. So to exist in that country, you needed to go to the next level. So we took the national team that opened up some opportunities for us. And then we signed Ronaldinho. I think we're going to get that on that later on. But we signed Ronaldinho for LATAM, not only for Brazil. We appeared during the Copa America in 2019, and we will be in 2021. Then, like the world, we've been impacted by the COVID, changed a bit our plan. We penetrated, I would say, the Brazilian market for the first time this year. Why that late? Simply because, as I said before, we are mainly working on regulated market, and Brazil was talking about regulating already a few years ago and then a few months ago. So we started, placing pieces on the chessboard, and we moved on. And then we signed for the first time, the MLB and the NFL sponsorship. I think we are known for that now. It's a very big deal for us. Very proud to have those partnership, and I hope that it's going to help and support also the growth of our industry over LATAM. That would be it for me for now, I guess. just, I like this. That's my background on my computer, and I'm proud of it.
No problem. We have just a slide with Ronaldinho on the Mexican national team. Great. So now, Aurélien, we will open with you a 15-minute question session. So we'll ask you some questions, simple questions. And for the attendees, please feel free to ask your question on the chat, and Aurélien will answer at the end of this session. Huh? Okay, so Aurélien, could you please tell us what today the main strategy of BetCris in Brazil?
Okay, so I didn't want to go too much into detail on the first presentation, but basically we are one of the 155th available sports betting company here in Brazil. And there's not a lot of ways to exist on such a competitive market and such a big market by taking a major sponsorship in order to put your brand on the map. Because everybody knows about Bet365. A lot of people knows about 1xBet. A lot of people know about Bodog, because those people operated in Brazil for the past, some of them 10 years, right? They're not officially, it's a .net, whatever, but they got a brand awareness. We don't. So we needed to make something to exist. And we decided to invest, I would say, not massively, but with enough money to make it work. So we took the Brasileiro, and that was the first stage of our investment process in Brazil. Then Ronaldinho, that we signed in 19, got delayed by 6 months, as everybody know, for some personal reason. And we are starting to use him only now, just because we want people to be engaged behind our brand, get to know BetCris. The repetition of seeing our brand on TV will put us somehow top of mind when it comes to betting. That's the first strategy. Then afterwards, obviously, like every other countries, we need to go online, and we need to get traffic from affiliates, from digital media, stuff like that, just for people that will look for more details about our brand to get what they need.
Okay, and how do you see the potential of the Brazilian market, a big market? What's your feeling?
Excitement, because it's a 210 million inhabitants, but moderated because they have a lot of still restriction. You presented that before. Only 27% of the population got access to the credit card, which is for us one of our main payment system. So they also have a lot of access to mobile and social media, but doesn't mean that those people will bet with you. So there's a huge potential if you find a way to educate those people as well, because most of them don't know or you have to behave with a bookmaker. You need to tell them, that is simple, that it's trustworthy also. Your brand needs to be trustworthy. If you go on the market and say, you might put your money with me, but I'm not sure I'm gonna give it back to you. That's not, that's touchy. So that's why we need to educate the market and say, this is safe. This is something that's coming also in Europe, in Asia, in all the countries across the globe. You can have access to it right now. So there's a huge potential, but it has to be made in a smart way. It doesn't mean that you are there, you will make money.
Makes sense. Could you tell us a little bit more about this partnership with Ronaldinho? What's the strategy behind, the objective for you? Is it only awareness or?
In this panel, I think we've got 57 people watching today. How many of you don't know Ronaldinho? Everybody knows him as a soccer superstar. I put aside his personal, let's say, life, right? We sign the sports legend. We sign the guy that bring excitement, thrill in the stadium. We signed the guy that got the technique that when he goes out in Brazil, you got 200 people following him. And we signed this image, okay? BetCris wants to be this, would like to bring the same value in the Brazilian market. We want to be exciting. We want to bring, the thrill of betting in your experience. We would like to be, we have fun. We want to put a smile on people's face the same way as Ronaldinho does. Now, you said before, people got access mostly to social media. Ronaldinho got by himself 110 million followers across his platform. So for us, every time he put a post about BetCris, we touch just in Brazil 32 million people. I mean, I understand there's the reach and it's not exactly 32 million, being honest, but we know that we have a potential of touching a very large audience in Brazil thanks to him. And he's super easy to work with. It's fun. The guy is open-minded, and I'm sure we can create some great stuff to for people in Brazil to feel happy betting with us. So that's more or less the strategy, and we would like to use him to support the other partnership we have. So maybe we're gonna mix stuff.
You've mentioned about social media in Brazil. How do you measure and track the efficiency on social media or a partnership with Ronaldinho, for example, with influencers? Or do you have any metrics you measure?
For us, it's kind of easy because we started from zero. I mean, zero. We never took any players from Brazil before opening a few months ago. So to evaluate everything that is trackable, everything that you can put an athlete link or whatever you call it, on his post, I can see directly the impact on my platform, and I can see, okay, we had XXX thousand of clicks. Out of these thousand of clicks, only few of them opened an account, and only few of them made a deposit. Give us also a trend and to also understand the global penetration of that market, because what happened with Ronaldinho might happen in the generic organic traffic. So if we see that we convert 30% from sign up to deposit, that's for us a baseline, and we see how the other partnership are behaving based to that. But again, we are lucky. We're lucky. We started from scratch, zero. So every time I see something, I can directly link it to one of my partnership.
And then what about the partnership? So you signed with the Brazilian National League. Mm-hmm. We know that it includes TV exposure. Or can you maybe describe the scope and the objective behind?
So that's the big partnership I was making reference to during the intro. Putting Brazil on the map putting BetCris in Brazil is the first step. And what's the best option than having the national championship that attract millions and millions of people? Soccer remained the main sport in Brazil and will probably remain forever. So, it's a no-brainer when it comes to expose your brand. You take what makes the most sense, the championship, because every weekend your brand will be on TV. And we show the brand, and then on Global, the main TV broadcaster, we got 76 games, I think, per season, where we can play with the LED. So we can put a CTA, we can introduce people to something else. We highlighted Ronaldinho lately with it. We merged both partnership, and we could see the numbers right away. We can see the impact on our numbers. And we believe that having a club, it's not in the DNA of BetCris. We are talking to everybody, not creating community. You say many brands focus on having the Corinthians. Fine, but you attract a lot of fans from the Corinthians. But what about the other team? They might not like you that much, So we try to be more generic, and every sponsorship that we have are for everybody. I mean, when you look at MLB, we're talking of MLB fan, but not only. NFL the same. Copa America, bunch of countries, not only Brazil. National championship, all the clubs, all the players, all the fans.
Really good. And what do you expect exactly from a partner to build a strong sponsorship, a strong partnership? What are your expectations?
I'm on a side where I write the check. So obviously, the first thing I'm going to ask is return on invest. But I think the the tough exercise for the partner is to understand my needs. We don't all have the same needs. Again, I'm going to take another example. Bet365, everybody knows them. They don't have the same need at BetCris that didn't exist 6 months back in Brazil. Okay. I need visibility. I need repetition of exposition of my brand. When Bet365, they might need probably more, VIP treatment for their local clients, or they might need something else. So I would need flexibility and tailored packages. That would be the first step. Try to understand what my brand is looking for. And I will stick to that, but exposure is the key one. I know that we got several clubs in the panel today, and I've been contacted by hundreds of them when I announced all my partnership in the past 6 months. And I had to decline, and I'm sorry for that. First of all, because there's a budget to respect, but also because those money can't buy experience. And I can take any of the clubs, Liverpool, Napoli, all those big clubs. They are exciting, but it takes me $20,000 to fly my people there, right? So it's complicated for me to say, okay, I'm going to pay a package and I'm going to have extra money on top to benefit from this package. So it's complicated for for European clubs to sell the same packages in LATAM. But now with the new technology that they have, changing the LED based on the feed, that's a game changer for them. And they have a lot of potential here. The European leagues are very, very followed here in LATAM. And they got a chance to reach agreements for sure.
And Aurélien, what kind of opportunities, as an expert of the betting sector, what kind of opportunities of partnership with betting do you see for a European brand or sports brand in Brazil or in LATAM? What's your view? What's your thoughts about that?
As far as, I've been working in Europe. I've been working here in LATAM. I see a difference only, I would say, on the fact that you need to talk the right language. So if the European market, European brands are coming with the same strategy to penetrate European markets and LATAM, it's not going to work. You need to adjust to the local culture. And as far as you do that, you will succeed. And for the betting companies, for companies that are already local, we are local. We are in Costa Rica. We speak local language. We hear them. We got a lot of feedback, and we are trying to fix that before making major investments. And for the other brands, that should be the same. No matter who you are, if you adjust to the market, you got much more chance to succeed, obviously. But again, I think it's listening to the needs. Try to adjust your offer. And also, and that's not a critic, value the package based on the audience. I can't pay the same price for for a European club in LATAM than what you got in Europe, obviously. The TV rights are not the same, the penetration is not the same, the reach is not the same. So I think the packages should be really adjusted. And we got now the experience, as an operator, to give you the real value. And I'm not going to lie. I don't like to decline partnership. I always see value in partnerships, but sometimes it's simply because the costs are too high and I can't handle it.
Thank you, Aurélien. So we have some questions for you in the chat. So feel free to ask your question to Aurélien. Maybe a first one from Hans-Peter. So Aurélien, interested in the sports properties that will mainly focus on in Brazil. I understand that football will be at the front and center, but will BetCris also seek to enter other sports? How about esports?
Right. Thanks for this question. Okay. First of all, I said soccer remained the main, and based on our strategy, I focused right away on my core target, which is soccer. I'm reaching more people targeting soccer than other sports, but I'm fully open to see everything else. Basketball is huge in Brazil. Volleyball is huge. Sports that we are not used to have in Europe or other countries. Futsal, beach volleyball, all those things got a very deep impact in Brazil. we will open us to other opportunities later on. I need to get first the return on investment, my initial partnership, and then after that, I'm going to open to other sports. Going to esports, I think we are learning from the crazy crisis that we went through with COVID. What's happening when the leagues are shutting down, when you have no action on the field? You need to offer something else to your customers. And esports is so far a very, very good alternative, and is growing as a sport itself. You know, you see clubs having their own esports team, and it makes so much sense for us to look at those things. But again, this is in development. I know that some brands got much more advanced than BetCris for esports, but we'll get there.
Another question, maybe more about the law in Brazil, from Lee Richardson, regarding the 3% turnover tax. So this figure is not yet confirmed. It has been published by Brazilian media. You can find it on Google really easily, but it's not yet confirmed. On what I heard is a lot of critics about that based on turnover. So maybe Aurélien, your thoughts about this figure or this law in general in Brazil?
Okay, 3% turnover on tax. When you compare it to some other countries, and I took Portugal, but then or France with 11% on the same thing, it's critical, it's difficult. But the risk for Brazil is to create a tax that makes the operators not attracted by claiming a license. And if those people, if the governments are not blocking, what's going to happen? You're going to go offshore. People will continue to take bets from offshore, and you will have several local companies struggling paying local taxes and not making a competitive offer. So they need to understand that it could be a deal breaker for all the investments that us operators are keen to make in Brazil. I mean, let's take a flat number, $10 million investment in Brazil. If you tell me that you put 3% on turnover, I might take those 10 million to 5. So they have more to lose than to win by taxing too high. So there will be many discussions, there's nothing in stone yet. And I think they need to listen to the advices from us, obviously, because we are paying, but it's know that we want to take it low, but also take, information about the other countries across the globe that regulate it already.
Thank you. Other question from Yudi Lipkin. Is there any potential going into the market in Brazil and LATAM without a ground-based partner, given the online payment challenge? So it's more a question about the difficulties to get the money and to be paid in Brazil. What's your view?
You can definitely go without. You might see, I mean, as you said, there will be some probably complication when it comes to payments. We are on the bottom of the learning curves when it comes to Brazil. I know that I said before, some operators are here for 10 years, but they've been struggling for 10 years. And as per today, I don't know any viable solution to make this, easy to operate in Brazil. You will always face something. Now, having land-based, does it make sense for you to invest on operational costs, like having people, opening shops, treatments, stuff like that, to maybe get 1 or 2% more payments? I don't know. We need to learn and see what comes out. But by experience over LATAM, it facilitated our business. Yes, cash is still king in LATAM. No matter what we think, we still have a lot of people paying with cash. And that's for now still a benefit to have land-based. Now, I don't see that in the future. Again, COVID teaches us, that those local shops might be worth keeping. I mean, we had to suspend our operation land-based as well during 6 months. And it's not an easy situation. And we need to find solutions to prevent that happening again. So yes, you will be able to do something. Now, everybody have a different opinion on that. But my view is, I don't see much facilities to keep those shops in the next 5 years. Like yeah.
More generic question from Daria. What are the most popular type of bets in sports? Good question.
Very open question. I think it's mostly based on the sport itself. It's based on the profile of the customer. If you take mass market, the famous money line 1 and 2, you know, when you don't know what to bet on, you bet on the winner or the score. But then when you get more professional in your bets, then you start to make parlays with handicap. Really depends of the maturity of the market. Brazilian, I'm sure that most of the people discovering sports betting for the first time will bet on their favorite club to win. That might be the trend for the first few months, and then with this education that I'm talking about for 20 minutes now, they might start discovering more exciting bets about the first goal scorer. Or in tennis, the next one to win the point. And by play, you see also a different trend based on if you place pre-game or in play. You don't have the same thing. But, again, sorry to repeat myself, it's really based on the maturity of the market and your customer base.
Thank you. Question from Diogo. Diogo from Orlando City Football Club. Hi, Diogo. On the club level, what do you see as opportunities besides sponsorship from, for example, a football club like Orlando City with a huge Brazilian fan base, I guess?
Wow, good question. Over opportunities. Well, MLS is growing massively lately. Like massively. And I mean, partnership means that you associate yourself with only one operators. But what you see in the US right now with the big leagues, MLB, NFL, NBA, they open, let's say, partnership to everybody. There's no exclusivity anymore. That might be something, like approve betting partner instead of having a unique exclusive betting partner. And offer them, different packages, different punctual activations. That could be an option. You could be the partner of that game only, targeting one main audience. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I'm the oversight, but that's something that I observe coming from the US right now.
Okay, also question, a lot of questions in the chat. Again, about esports. So Brazil is top 3 esport market in the world. It's a big market for electronic sports. Do you have any, on BetCris platform or website, do you have any strategy regarding electronic sport, any difference or features?
Okay. We obviously do have a strategy. Now it's not under my scope. We are building the product. Okay. I'm a truly believer that before going on the market with an offer, you need to make sure that this offer makes sense. It's good, stable, and this is what we are working on. Okay. We are converting slowly from, I would say, classical sports to esports. We have new providers, we have new solutions, and we want to be good enough before pushing this kind of product. And this is not the case today. But yeah, we're working on it. And I'm sure in a couple of months, it's going to be one of our main point of revenues.
Another question from Murilo. So he's from DAZN. I know him quite well. Would it make sense to betting companies to invest in buying local publishers, so sports driven, or do a naming rights sponsorship agreement for years in order to have exclusivity in the betting sector within their specific audience? Difficult question. Did you understand it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did. I can answer right away and say, sorry guys, I can't buy DAZN. I mean, I'm working with DAZN. The Ronaldinho production that we've done is with DAZN. And they got a lot of solicitation right now to create unique content. What makes the difference between me and what my competitors is beside the product, is the way to communicate to the audience and creating unique content. If everybody's producing the same, you get bored and you picked one of them, I don't know, because of the color whatsoever. But we moved to a partnership with DAZN because they were offering something that we believe is exceptional based on our expectations. So I don't know if it's worth buying exclusivity with those agencies. I think we can all live in the same world together. You can have limitations. So, okay, BetCris is owning that type of content and you guys are buying this type of content. But then after that, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. This is, it's, I don't want to say something wrong. So I would rather not say anything else. I'm sorry.
Okay, so now I'm receiving question on WhatsApp also, so I'm a little bit lost, but I will try to do my best. Question from Giacomo from Italy. Regarding your strategy, what is the more interesting for BetCris? Partnerships with players in specific markets or with clubs in regional partnerships?
Okay, having a unique player is possible only if this guy is not active anymore. Okay, so when we sign clubs, you need to use 3, 4, 5 of them together, because you can't say that, me as an operator, I ask those 5 people to miss a penalty, to lose a game, or, to corrupt the sports world. When you have a unique player, it's more complicated because it's more easy, sorry. If you take, I don't know, Ibrahimovic is representing because he owns Bet Hard. What happens if Ibrahimovic needs to kick a penalty playing for Milan and miss that penalty? And his company at the same time is making millions of dollars because he missed that penalty. What can we say about that? So I don't want to put BetCris in this situation where the authority or even the players don't trust me anymore. It's a matter of trust. So I would rather go with a club using probably a key player from that team, from the club, to advertise in my country. If I take, I don't know, Everton, they got James Rodriguez now for Colombia. That would make sense.
Right? Lozano for Mexico, yeah.
But every brand again got a different approach. My approach is safe, working on trust and something that is accountable. I can prove that I'm not doing anything wrong.
Thank you. Question from Andrew about withdrawal of money in Brazil, collecting in the bank accounts. Is it really difficult? What is the first experience you are having here in Brazil with the withdrawal, on the...
Well, we do use also payment solution providers in Brazil. They offer us numbers of different options. Banking is one of them, but they also have credit cards, e-wallet, and all those things. Now, I'm working on marketing. I'm not working on finance, so I don't want to say anything wrong. But I know that we still have, many limitations when it comes to play with money in, money out. We have team dedicated to optimize the results on that. But being honest, I can say that it's not great yet. And the regulation might actually open opportunities for banks to be more flexible and payment solution to be more flexible. So we expect regulation for that at least.
Thank you. Question from Felipe. Many bookmakers are developing very interesting content strategy around their partnerships or assets to generate even more awareness. How do you believe that the content strategy should be executed? Thinking about assets such as Brazilian League or Ronaldinho.
We are using the content to share a message, right? The message that we have an identity. BetCris stands for some values, okay? As I said before, we want to be exciting. We want to be smart in our way to communicate with our customers. We want to be confident, and having the biggest US leagues give us this confidence. Okay, so we stand for values, and our product stands for value as well. Value for money, I mean, transparency, we got licenses and all those things. So the content should actually communicate to your audience all those values. And we are looking at creating something that doesn't have to be 3 minutes movie. You know, you can share a message in 10 seconds, but also we need to adapt to the channel. Social media, you spend probably 25 seconds, 30 seconds watching a video, and you see if it's talking to you or not, and then you swipe. We need to have different type of content and changing a lot of it. Like if I put the same content for 6 months, I mean, people will believe that, first of all, I'm not interesting anymore. And I will also lose the interest of my partners because the conversion of acquiring customers will drop. So it's a difficult exercise, expensive exercise. But content today is personal. I believe that content is again here to share a message that should align with your partner.
Okay, question from Brazil, Igor from O Globo. Be careful, Aurélien, O Globo. Why did you decide to sponsor the Brasileirão, so the Brazilian National League, instead of sponsoring a club? You already, I think, answered. Is this because you arrived in Brazil after other brands? Or no? On what's maybe the other question? What's the main difference between investing in a club and a competition, or a competition?
So yeah, I think I more or less answered to that question already. We want to talk to the largest audience as possible. If you I don't know, sponsor, I'm gonna take another club because I used the Corinthians already. I don't know.
Palmeiras, Flamengo.
Flamengo, Ronaldinho, Flamengo. I take a partnership with Flamengo. What about all the other games? Okay. What about the games of the Corinthians, actually? Fluminense. What about those games? If my audience is watching only Flamengo, I will touch a very reduced audience. So by having the clubs, I'm sure that I have my billboards in every single games played during the weekend. So I'm touching a larger audience. And working for Globo, I mean, we're talking about GRPs and stuff. Thanks you guys who are reaching a very large audience, thanks to your broadcasting. But that was the main strategy. Now coming back after the overs, yes, we are right after the overs. That was a choice. Again, because we wanted to come with a product that we are proud of and we believe is talking to the Brazilian audience. It's in Portuguese. We got local payment system. We got a local customer service. So we worked on that. I've been contacted by all the clubs from Brazil, every single one of them. And look what happened. I've seen for last year, every single week, a bookmaker announced a partnership with one of those teams. And 6 months after, they announced the end of it. I mean, that's the answer. It was not ready. The clubs were not ready. The Brazilian market was not ready to receive sponsorship from bookmakers yet. And that's, you know, I might change my mind. You might see me with Flamengo in a few years. You might see me. I think I'm allowed to change my mind, but also if I do so, it's because my strategy needs to be adjusted to the new needs and to the new reality of the Brazilian market. Again, I'm learning. I will make some mistakes. I will always make some mistakes. As per today, I believe that I took the right decision to go global.
Okay, 2 other questions, more about political situation, which I think is also important for a foreign betting company like BetCris. Despite the real being devaluated, Brazil has a problem of having a very unstable government that has been causing financial problems to the population. Is it still a worthwhile market for bookmakers?
If I have an ounce of control of that, well, I could tell you yes, but I mean, we never know what can happen. Tomorrow, the president can sign the decree and say, guys, it's it's regulated, you guys have to pay 5% tax on turnover. Okay, well, I'll be there and I have to react to that. In the same time, it could take 2 more years. I mean, the elections are in November, right? What's happening if the new president, if not Bolsonaro, decide to ban gambling? We don't know. I have no control on that. And I will have to just, react positively to what's going on and I adjust my offer. But I can't tell you much more. I mean, politics is...
I suppose it's the same situation in other South American countries. Okay, question from Maddie. To what extent do you work with sports betting affiliates in LATAM? And how important are they in increasing your exposure? So maybe talk about affiliation market in Latin America and the importance for BetCris.
Mm-hmm. At the same time as BetCris is growing, is brand awareness, we are also updating, reviewing, optimizing our systems, including the product itself, but also all the tools that we are using to run our business. Affiliate is one of them. We implemented the new platform only lately, and we know the value of affiliates. I've been working with affiliate for, at least all my years with gaming, and we know the value of it. And the quick example, and I think we discussed that together already, Frederic, if you want to buy a car, you will seek advices online. You will look at the detail of the car online before going into the shop and maybe try the car and pass your order. It's exactly the same for us. I can see BetCris in the stadium, but what's happening if I look for BetCris compared to somebody else? And I don't find this information. I might not sign up with you guys, with BetCris, because I'm still unsure that this is a product made for me. So we see value in working on the widest affiliate network as possible. For some people looking for information about our products, the payment solution that we offer, the trust that the customers have on our product, we need to show that. And there's only one way, online. And who's taking the top position today on Google? Affiliates. So yes, we will get there. It's my second stage. But again, I've been limited by technology lately. I'll get there very soon.
Okay, so thank you, Aurélien. Our webinar is now coming to the end. Almost 1 hour, really good. Aurélien, many thanks again for your time. It was a pleasure, as always. A really special thank you to all our attendees. If you have any other questions or for any business inquiry, you can contact us or reach us through the following email address in the slide. Yeah, I think it's displayed. So thanks a lot again, and we keep in touch. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you.